Hi all, we are BCom students of Marian College Kuttikanam and today we are here to present an awareness video on the recent environmental crisis affecting Yamuna River as a part of environment management and human rights subject. So before starting with the introduction, I would like to introduce my team members. So my team consists of Ansela Xavier, Arjun S. Raj, Ajin Jinson, Delna Ancharian, Melvin Ajish Joseph, Serena Lima Shilu, and myself Anugraha Medi Roni. So rivers are considered to be lifeline of cities because rivers provide water for various purposes including our personal purposes, agricultural purposes and industrial purposes. But nowadays, rivers are more prone to flood and pollution because of various reasons like rapid urbanization, lack of planning, climate change, etc. In this video, we would like to discuss about what are the causes of this recent environmental crisis affecting Yamuna River, what role humans played in causing this issue, what all initiatives government is taking out to protect the people from this particular issue, and what all preventive measures we can take in order to prevent such an issue in future. By the end, we also expect to give insights on how communities' participation and authorities' initiatives can prevent such issues in future. So let's discuss more about this issue. Yamuna River is nearing a mark of 205.33 meters and they expected to reach a danger mark of 206 meters as of now. Government has closed down old railway bridge and they've also started evacuation of people living in low-lying areas. Flooded roads, traffic disruptions are affecting the daily lives of the people.
Now let us look at the causes. The Yamuna is flooding because of both natural and human factors. Heavy monsoon rains, made more unpredictable by climate change, have overwhelmed the river. On top of this, water released from upstream barrages has added to the surge, putting pressure on downstream areas. Human actions have also made things worse. Poor drainage systems mean water has no way to go, and construction on floodplains has taken away the natural space the river needs to expand. Together, these conditions have turned the Yamuna into a serious threat to life and property.
The causes of flood that has created in the people's life. The flood have hit people's life very hard in many low-lying areas of Delhi and Noida. Water has entered their homes. Families are rushing to move their things to high floors, and many have had to leave their houses to stay in temporary shelters. Normal life has come to a standstill. Roads are underwater, causing huge traffic jams. Buses and trains are delayed or cancelled, and even ambulance and rescue teams find it difficult to reach people in need. And also, the other main difficulty that was faced is by the school children. Schools have been forced to shift to online classes, which is especially tough for children whose families don't have proper internet or devices. The flood have also shut people's income, and many were become so poor in those times. That means those who are earning daily wages, they have become too poor than earlier. And also the small shopkeepers and street vendors cannot do business, and also the daily wage workers, which I've said earlier. With markets closed, families are under financial pressure while also dealing with the stress of leaving their homes and worried about their future. This floods also show that natural disasters don't just damage the environment, but that just deeply affects people's daily lives, jobs, education and mental health. And this has reminded us how fragile life becomes when disaster strikes.
Let's now move on to the floods impact on environment and infrastructure. So floods impact, or what do we say, floods basically impact more than just people. They play a significant role in damaging our environment and infrastructure. For example, waterlogging. Speaking the case of waterlogging, it weakens the roads and bridges, which creates long-term repair cost for the city. And another case is that contaminated water. So let's take a case of contaminated water. This spread diseases like cholera, typhoid, and other waterborne illness, which poses a more public health risk. Speaking of environment, floods disrupt ecosystems completely. For example, the holy river, that is the Yamuna, which is the natural Yamuna's natural river banks and vegetations are completely destroyed, and its aquatic lives are also displaced due to the changes in water flow and the contamination. Also, the increase in encroachment on floodplains has removed the natural spaces that could absorb excess water, which makes the situation even worse more than the earlier. Now, let's speak about the infrastructure. So, looking at the infrastructure, it suffers a long-term damage. For example, the electric grids, the sewage systems, and the transport networks can be temporarily or permanently affected, floods also slow down emergency responses as the roads and bridges may become unusable, which creates more risks and more problems during an emergency. So, in short, or as a summary, what I spoke, we can see that floods create a chain reaction between the human health, the urban infrastructure, and the natural environment. It affects all the three, which basically shows how interconnected these systems truly are.
To manage this crisis, the government and disaster management teams have mobilized swiftly. The Delhi government has put up authorities on high alert, ensuring that relief camps and temporary shelters are ready for families in vulnerable areas. National Disasters Response Force teams have been deployed to assist with evacuations, and regular updates are shared with the public to reduce panic and confusion. Authorities are coordinating with neighboring countries like Noida and Ghaziabad to clear floodplains and ensure that water has space to flow safely. Traffic management teams are redirecting vehicles from flooded roads, and hospitals are being raided for any health emergencies related to floodwaters. Public awareness is also being emphasized. Authorities advise citizens to follow updates, avoid flooded areas, and take precautionary measures at home. While these measures cannot prevent flooding entirely, they significantly reduce risk to life and health management in the immediate crisis. This response highlights the importance of preparation, coordination, and quick action during natural disasters. Without such measures, the human and economic cost would have been far higher.
Looking ahead, it is clear that we must focus on prevention to reduce the future of floods. First, construction in floodplains should be strictly prohibited to preserve natural water buffers and prevent damage to human settlements. Second, urban drainage system require regular maintenance and testing. A well-maintained drainage system ensures that heavy rainfall does not lead to prolonged waterlogging. Expansion of rainwater harvesting programs can also reduce surface runoff, capturing water for future use rather than allowing it to overwhelm rivers and drains. Third, embankments and flood barriers should be strengthened, especially near vulnerable areas. Early warning system must be enhanced so that residents have enough time to prepare and evacuate if needed. Finally, community awareness and engagements are crucial. Citizens must be understand the risk and know how to respond during floods by combining technologies, planning, infrastructure upgrades, and public awareness. Citizens can become more resilient, turning disaster into manageable challenges rather than uncontrollable.
In conclusion, the current Yamuna flood alert is a stark reminder that urban areas remain vulnerable to natural disasters. While emergency measures are critical in the short term, long term solutions such as sustainable urban planning, proper waste management, and climate resilience are essential. It is only through the collective effort of government, citizens, and communities working together that we can reduce the risks of future water related disasters. By learning from today's challenges, we can hope to protect our people and our environment for future generations to come.